Thanks for joining us again. Chad Evans back in studio, along with our dear friend, Just Dena.
Hello there, Chad, again.
Interior design extraordinaire.
Oh, yes.
How about that one?
That's good.
That is a good one. I love learning all about this. This is a lot of fun. I'm a guy, I don't know anything about interior design.
Oh, I bet you do.
I don't know. I don't think. But over the last couple episodes, I've learned a tremendous amount about interior design and little tricks of the trade.
You can be on Jeopardy tonight. You'll know the answer.
I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. I could use the money, though.
There you go.
In this episode, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the misconceptions of what an interior designer is and does. So when I first think of that, I'm like, boy, I love extreme home makeover, and that guy moves the busts out of the way, and presto changeo, in 45 minutes they have a brand new home and everything's lock, stock, and barrel inside the house, right?
Not happening.
That doesn't happen in real life.
No, it doesn't.
Is that just show business?
That's show business.
Explain.
Well, there's thousands of people behind the scenes and behind that bus that make it all happen, for one thing, and that is not even realistic. And why would you want it to be like that? Mm-hmm. Things that you do in a hurry, typically in the end, don't give you the best results. Take it easy, take a deep breath, and do it the right way the first time. And not tackle too much. You know, it is a lot to tackle when you do an interior design in your home or make a change or a remodel. Building is a process. Let it happen. You're going to be in the home for a long time. You're going to have whatever you just changed for a long time. It's not something that you just throw out. You can't just throw it in the trash. And we've come to the time where furniture and design is disposable. Everybody wants to get it cheap, fast, quick, and then realize 6 months from now it's not what they really wanted or it's fallen apart. I will help you make that decision of what could be disposable. A throw pill is disposable. A little knick-knack is disposable. But there's things that are not. You want to have things that are classic, that last a long time, and that you're going to enjoy forever.
What are your thoughts, maybe a misconception of an interior designer is that we give, Just Dena a couple of ideas, and then you have your feet propped up with a cigar in your mouth, and you're on Pinterest.
Yep, that's what I do. I have my feet propped up all the time. I don't know about the cigar, but but no, that isn't how it works. I mean, there's a lot. After I've left, well, even before I get to you, I do make a couple of basic questions that I ask you. So I come a little bit prepared of what the scope of the project's going to be. And then after we meet, that's the other thing is you don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. After I leave your house, I spend hours putting the proposal together. You get that all in that initial consultation fee. And all the legwork, all the time that you spend on your day off running around looking for these things, I bring back to you in a very short period of time. That's what I find out what happens. Like even when I hang pictures at a client's home, yes, there is a fee for me to hang the pictures, which is my consulting fee. It's the same whether I'm hanging a picture or we're just sitting here talking.
Yeah.
And what I can do in a few hours usually takes a homeowner months, sometimes years to hang pictures. I go in homes that I was just in one that my helper helped me with 2 weeks ago. They moved in. I thought they had just moved in. I thought I heard her say August. It was August 2 years ago. Oh. And not a picture was hung on the wall. And we were there for a total of 3 hours, had pictures unpacked, things on the wall, lamps on the tables. We're like the ever-ready bunnies. Mm-hmm. There's lots of batteries, and we keep going and going and going. And that is a misconception of designers. And again, this may not be true of all designers, but this designer doesn't do that. I keep moving. When I go to your house, I work. I'm there to get the job done.
Maybe this is true. I don't know. But a misconception is an interior designer is like, okay, we got a plan of attack. I'm going to go out and find all the pictures, all the lamps. So then you find a barn, and you go into this barn and you pull out all these old paintings and stuff, and you refurbish them and throw them in the house. Is that true?
No, I want everything. So My concept is I think home furnishings should not look purchased. I think they should look like they've been collected, even if you did get them all at the same time. I don't want you to buy all matching pieces from the same series. I want you to be eclectic. I want you to buy things you like. If you like a vintage piece and you like a totally modern piece, if you like a country piece, you like a English country style piece, I think you should get it. If it's something you liked, if you see something on vacation, you can always add to your design collection. But I don't want you to look like you went out and bought everything all at one time. And that's what happens a lot when people go out on their own. Everything matches. There's always 3 pieces of furniture: sofa, love seat, and chair. Newsflash, they all don't have to be from the same set. End tables don't have to match. Lamps don't have to match. They have to coordinate. And that's a big difference.
See, I would have a really hard time doing that because I don't have that magical superpower.
And that's where I come in.
Man.
I wave the magic wand and I can help you do that, from pieces that you already have to adding new pieces in. And it doesn't have to be done all at one time. I need you to slow down and enjoy it.
A misconception is an interior designer comes in and starts pointing at things. No, get it out of here. No, can't stand it. This color.
Well, sometimes I'm like, whew, we need to get rid of that color, or it's a little too bright. But no, I typically do not say things have to go. Sometimes there is things that do need to go, and like that worn out tired piece that's broken or somebody's tried to glue together 20 times. Yes, I do get rid of those things. And a lot of people will say to me, I'm so glad you did that because I just couldn't bring myself to doing that. But for the most part, I like to keep and incorporate the pieces that you already have into the new design.
Yeah. Are there projects that are more challenging than others in certain ways?
Sometimes projects can be challenging when too many hands are in the pot.
Sure, that goes with anything.
Yeah,
for sure.
You've got too many opinions, and I always tell my homeowner, again, back to it's your home, it's your money. Bringing different people in for different opinions is only going to make it worse and make the decision harder. Whoever's living there should be the ones making the decision. And everybody should be part of it, including if there's other household members, children, for instance. You know, they should be part of their room selection, but they also need to be guided, you know, in their color selections. Because again, children tend to pick out bright colors and things, and trendy things like a bedspread or anything like that. Sure, have at it. Paint. It's simple. Structure of the room and doing major things, not their decision. But you can hone in on what they really like. And sometimes it's better in the process that I hone in with them just without mom and dad involved. Sometimes it goes a whole lot easier when mom and dad don't have the aspect. Not saying that mom and dad aren't going to be part of the process, but sometimes the child doesn't really say what they want in front of the parent.
Yeah. I know a misconception might be price.
Yes.
A lot of times they're like, well, without even doing their research or talking to you or an interior designer, they automatically think it's too expensive.
Correct, they do.
Why do they think that?
Well, again, because most designers come in their designer suits and with their designer handbag and all that kind of stuff. And again, I am a hands-on designer. And I can hang pictures in heels, so I am noted for doing that. But it's not expensive. It's expensive when you keep throwing money after money, and it's a process. And I alluded to that earlier. Back when I was younger, they used to have a home shopping. I don't know what to say, but it's a program. A woman used to come to the house. It was called Home Interiors, and everything in there was very well priced. Everything was under, I think, $25, maybe $30.
Right.
But in order to achieve what you wanted, you'd have to buy 20 things at $25 a piece. And you had to keep adding to it in order to get it. Everything was a separate piece. And in the end, you really didn't get what you wanted. You got what everybody else had because it was the same thing, and they were promoting the same exact grouping to every household. And I want you to buy things that are individual and unique to you. And buying a bunch of little things sometimes well, it doesn't sometimes, it always adds up to more money than buying one substantial piece. People tend to overbuy. I sometimes will come into a home and say, Chad, stop. Just stop buying. Stop going out and doing that. Stop going out and buying samples of paint and putting it on your walls. Let's choose a color.
Okay. Yeah. You wouldn't be saying that. I don't purchase it. The wife purchased things, so you would have to tell her to stop.
Okay.
I tried.
I'm good at that.
No, so you don't show up in your big giant Range Rover and you don't have the skirt and the heels
Well, I have the heels.
Oh, you got the heels.
Yeah, but I've got jeans on and a t-shirt with a pair of heels.
ready to
and my hammer and nails.
Yeah, and your hammer and nails. You
in a purse, by the way.
Do you come in with your sledgehammer?
No. I've always wanted to sledgehammer somebody's wall, though.
Demo.
Just one time.
Yeah.
Just one time, but no, I haven't done that. Throw things out? Yes, I have.
What are some misconceptions that you've encountered personally?
That I'm hard to work with.
Oh.
And I'm not hard to work with. I'm actually very easy to work with, and I make the process smooth. And that's where they don't think that's going to happen. They think I'm going to come in and I'm going to take their ideas and they're not going to have the house and they're not going to like it. And that isn't my goal. My goal is I want you to love your house, just like I love what I do.
Mm-hmm. Are you easy to work with regarding contractors?
Yes. It's not, it has over the years.
Sure, it's been a challenge.
It's been challenging with some of the contractors, but once I'm there and they see the comfort level, the contractors kind of use me as a mediary, just like I'm used as a mediary between the two people in the house making the decisions. The contractor could come to me and say, Dena, they want this, and it can't happen because of this. Well, I am the bearer of bad news usually for that. But vice versa, if the client wants something, sometimes they have a hard time explaining to the contractor what it is they exactly want. And I have learned over the years that I have the relationship on the opposite direction too. I can go, they really want this. How can we make this work? I understand we can't do it this way, but is there another way? And most of the times there is another way.
See, and that's the thing too. I think a misconception is like, well, each interior designer has their own style. And that's not the case with you. I mean, no, you have a lot of styles.
I have a lot of styles that I have my own personal favorites for my style, but my style's not yours.
Right.
And that's the whole concept. You will see touches of me in your home because I've helped you grow and find out what you really do like. And those are things you were afraid to make the decision. I'm not afraid to make the decision for you. I want to help you along so that you will enjoy that piece. And if it's something that you like I've just found out that you're a huge Prince fan.
Love Prince.
So that would be a great thing to work with.
Love music, yeah.
And anything with music is great. I mean, you can do all those things. I just did a clubhouse that was all about music, and we used Prince in that one. We also used Kiss, and we used Blondie, and we, all sorts of things. Elvis, Ozzy Osbourne, it just all works out. It is a reflection of you. Your home is a reflection of you, and sometimes people are afraid to let it out.
Well, I was just going to say, they are afraid. And some people might think it's a scary process.
It is. It's a very scary process. It's not easy because you're spending money.
Sure.
And if you make the wrong decision, that's where using me saves you money. I stop you from making the wrong decision. Just like little things we were talking earlier about, just a simple thing is where the light switch is on.
Yeah.
When coming into construction of your home. Well and good, it's on the blueprint, but how are you going to use the house? How are you going to walk around? We do a walkthrough. Make sure this is where you want to turn it on. Also, I had one home that I just did that when the door was going to open, two doors were going to open into each other from the bathroom door to the coming in door. That somebody's going to get crushed in there one day. The dog, the cat, the child, yourself. Those are things that you don't see till after you're there and it's all said and done with, and then you can't change it. Where a wiring goes, where a speaker goes, all those little things are the details of how you're going to use it. And if you are just I do a lot of kitchens, and the kitchen has to be for how you cook, not how the general population cooks. It's how you cook. Where do you want your things? How's best use of the space?
And that's the most important is the pre-production. We call it in video land pre-production, and that would be your consultation, like really diving deep in and getting to know these families and know their personalities, and that creates trust with you.
Correct.
It's not you're calling somebody out of the blue and they're showing up and they're,
I think this color would be good.
Bring a trailer full of throw pillows and go to
No.
town. That's not how it works. But we always talked about this before, but why do you love this so much? Like, why is it?
What other job can you go to every day that you make people happy?
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're in tears when I leave.
Yeah.
And not tears because they're upset, tears because they're so happy. And they'll say to me, my home's so comfortable. I go into every room. I just had one that we've been working on a project now since the summer, and I've finished parts of her rooms. That she moved into this house 5 years ago. And again, there's parts of every room that were finished, but nothing was completed. And she wasn't feeling well this past weekend. And she called me Monday morning and said, Dena, I enjoyed every part of my house. You did the sunroom, you did my living room, you did my lower level, you made a library for me. And I did it with most of her furnishings, just adding a few new pieces, and gave her purposes for those areas. People don't use their home. I think there should be no area of your home you don't use. Mm-hmm. Like, you should use the things, just like you should use the pretty dishes. Don't be afraid to use them. It's not a museum. It's your home.
China cabinets. Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of China cabinets?
Well, I'm a fan of filling them. I'm not necessarily a fan of China cabinets. No, I would rather have a buffet, which is just the top. Like, I'd rather have those dishes hid away than out. I think you need a China cabinet serves no purpose other than to store the dishes. Mm-hmm. And a top of a China cabinet, just having that buffet when you're entertaining. I love to cook. I love to entertain. Yeah. And if that's not you, then a China cabinet's just fine. Mm-hmm. But a useful surface, I want you to be able to use all your furniture. I want you to be able to use all your accessories. It's just like you shouldn't have a drawer in the kitchen that's full of utensils you don't use or little appliances. Yeah. Like, how many little appliances you can have? You've got the Ninja.
You got 7 blenders.
Yes, you don't need that. You need one.
Yeah.
Like your favorite, everybody has their favorite knife, their favorite spoon, and then you've got a drawer full of stuff you don't use. I don't want you to have a house full of stuff you don't use.
So, you do residential, you do homes, obviously, commercial buildings. Is there anything that you don't do? You won't design?
I haven't come across that just yet.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. So you could go out to somebody's cabin, right, and design their cabins and
I've done their cabins. I've done their garages.
Oh,
I've had people.
So you help with organization.
Yes, an organization. That's one of my other skills. I'll organize your closets. I'll organize your attics. I will organize the basement. I'll organize your kitchen cabinets. Again, I did a home just recently in the Bloomsburg area, and they had been in the house for 3 years and never really organized their kitchen. I took everything apart, started all over, and organized all the pieces. And she thanked me. She said, oh my gosh, everything's in the area where I can use it. You made me a baking center. You made me a coffee center. Again, it's how they use the house. And I asked them ahead of time how they use the house. If you're not a baker, then why do you have an area for that? But she was a baker, but she had to go 10 places in the kitchen. I put it all together. Mm-hmm.
Do you find families try to keep up with the Joneses?
Oh, yeah.
You see that a lot?
I see that a lot. But again, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. There's other neighbors on the other side.
Just the
do what makes you happy. What's happy? What's in right now? It's okay for trendy things. It's just like your clothing. If you want to have a trendy outfit, great. But keep the basics.
Yeah.
And keep things that are going to last a long time.
What are trends moving forward, do you think, if you were to look in a crystal ball? Has nothing to do with misconceptions, but I was just curious.
Oh, well, we're going back into, I think, what I see coming is colors are going darker again. Everything's going to deeper, richer colors. And I think because of COVID and the cocooning process and feeling warm inside, people feel much more comfortable in that. And that'll be a trend for a while, but it's not going to last. You have to have different spaces and different rooms. And if you want to be in that dark, a dark room doesn't have to be closed in a small space. And I was telling you earlier about a teenage girl that wanted a dark blue room. And her mom was just petrified of that. And I said, we can give her a dark blue room. Sydney will have that. Yeah. And she did. And it was nice. And it looked like a teenage room when we were done. It's just a color.
Yeah. I know it says interior design on your title.
Mm-hmm. It's more than that.
It's more than that. It's much more than that. But like, do you help with curb appeal? Can you help with like a...
I do have several. That's the other thing we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
In the area, I have several realtors that I have been in contact with over the years that they bring me in. If a client is trying to sell, one of their clients is trying to sell a home that's not selling, they bring me in to tell the client they need to do this, this, and this to sell the home, because I don't have a staked interest in the house. My interest is that you sell the house.
Right.
That's, and I tell the truth. Like, you need to move this, or you need to move that, or get rid of that. I had one here a couple years back that I went, and the house was new. It was only 3 years old. And the bizarre thing was, it was a landscaper. That's what was his business. It was family business. There wasn't a bush or a shrub anywhere in the yard. Mm-hmm. And all the plants were out back. And I'm going, Dave, why is there plants here? Well, we just haven't had time. I go, well, you want to sell this house, it's time for it to go. I had another house that I was in that there was 3 bathrooms with 3 tubs and no shower curtains or shower doors. And I go, why isn't there any shower curtains or shower doors? He goes, well, we're not shower people. I go, he goes, we take tub baths. And I go, oh, well, that's nice. I said, but as a potential buyer, I look at it as the shower doesn't work. That's why there's no showers. And I said, you need to put some shower curtains on. Just little tips like that. Yeah. I will do. And the other thing that I work with the realtors is some of them have given me as a housewarming gift to the potential homeowner, or the homeowner that purchased, so that I can get in the home and, guide them in a direction they want to go. So I've been used in all sorts of ways. I also work with a couple of different contractors that for over the years buy sheriff sale houses and flip them. And that's been going on now since 1995.
That's awesome.
And we've got a good track record, even though they didn't believe me at the beginning, but they do now.
When in doubt, get a hold of you. Just Dena.
Correct.
Just get a hold of Dena and you'll solve.
It's just me.
It's just you, and creating solutions for these families is really, really nice.
Yes.
We're going to have more conversations, okay?
Yes.
There's a lot more to come, and I'm excited for next time.
Yes.
Just Dena in studio, and looking forward to the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.